Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today it's going to be a match between ShoWTimE and Heromarine here on Port Alexander, the latter edition. Top left-hand corner is the red Protoss player, ShoWTimE. And in the bottom right-hand corner is the blue Terran player, Heromarine. Alright, so this is going to be a PvT between two of the best players Europe has to offer. ShoWTimE is the best Protoss player in Europe at this point, and I'm trying to figure out if Heromarine is the best Terran player in Europe at this point. I think he is. I really think he is. He's been working a long time to get here, and he's not going to let ShoWTimE beat him today if he can help it. Alright, so PvT features a lot of Liberators, Tempests, a lot of Storm, a lot of Zealots, a lot of Marine Marauder, maybe a couple tanks. Not a crazy number of tanks here from Heromarine, but it's just mech's not super viable. Although we did see Maru go mech versus Protoss at I want to say it was at GSL recently, and he might have changed the meta there a little bit. A lot of Terran players are like, dude, mech's viable versus Protoss now? Holy crap, they're trying it. And they are definitely not, they're not Maru, so they can't necessarily make it work, but anyway, they're trying, is what I'm trying to say here. So we'll see what Heromarine does. Probe comes in for the scout. Throwing up a Cybercore at the front here. So going actually Gateway Cybercore, recognizing there isn't an expansion yet, and maybe just a little bit worried about that here out of Heromarine. The fact that there's not a command center going down quite yet might be a cause for concern. Alright, where are we, friends? Where are we, friends? We're getting a Reaper name. That's what we're doing. Alright. Reaper name is Maroon 5. You teased Sweet Victory, and you gave us Sicko Mode. Ah, yes. Ah, yes, the problems with the Super Bowl this year. Super Bowl headliner Maroon 5 basically said they were going to give a tribute to Steven Hillenburg, creator of SpongeBob, who died last year. There is a scene in SpongeBob wherein SpongeBob and his friends play Sweet Victory at the Super Bowl, and people figured it'd be a good tribute to him to do that at the Super Bowl, and Maroon 5 was like, okay, and they kind of started with a scene from SpongeBob, and then they went just right into one of their own songs, did not play Sweet Victory, and it was never brought up again. So a lot of SpongeBob fans are very upset. Internet fans in general are not pleased with Maroon 5, and as a result, this Reaper's name is Maroon 5. There's a stalker at home to deal with it already. Adept comes in, and you know what? Might get the 3 shots off necessary, or the 2 shots off necessary. The early shots on the SCV by the probe actually made that easier to do. So delay on that construction. The Marine up here. Well, no Marines up here yet, but the Adept getting some work done. Hellion comes out, and this is where the Adept needs to go home. Do you have a shade available? You do. Is it going to be enough is the question here. Can you escape? No. Stalker comes in. Actually does pretty well against Hellions and Marines both here. I'm liking this out of ShoWTimE. ShoWTimE is really showing what he is, what he's capable of doing. Here Marine finishes his natural base because he's a pro. Stalker production continues. We've got Blink coming in here now too. And another Gateway coming up. Alright, Stalkers here to fight against the Widow Mines, but they don't have detection, so there's no reason or no way for them to do it. Until they have Blink, they might be able to do the Blink trick to reveal the presence of that Widow Mine. Robotics Facility, the choice here for ShoWTimE. And here comes a bit of a drop. It's a Widow Mine drop with more Marines in it than Widow Mines. So definitely Marine drop with some Widow Mine support here. But Robotics Facility is going to be done fairly soon. And the first thing out of that is going to have to be detection, obviously. Is there no detection? I'm just realizing this now. I mean, there's not. There's no Stargate. There is no Robotics Facility. There is no Forge for Cannons. So at this point, ShoWTimE, if the Widow Mines were permanently cloaked, he would be toast. But they don't. After they fire once, they are pick-offable. And so you just kind of absorb the one hit if you have to and call it good. So now the question is there enough back home here for ShoWTimE to handle this? This kind of seems a little bit unexpected for him. He's trying to pick off these Marines, but they've got the healing coming up. There we go. Enough Stalkers are here, but oh, depowering both the Warp Gate and the Cybercore at the front here. The Widow Mine is annoying, because the Widow Mine will take down one of the Stalkers. But once it's done, the threat of it is gone, and it does get picked off. A couple probes go down. Again, depowering a Warp Gate and a Cybercore. It's not a huge deal. In fact, it's really a minor deal in the grand scheme of things. Immediately, observers in production here for ShoWTimE. Got a Raven coming in too, out of Heromarine. And a third command center on the way from the Terran player. So any sign of a third base from ShoWTimE? No, he's got his blink. He's working on his armor. Getting additional warp gates here. This really feels like some kind of a two-base attack style. Hallucinated Phoenix scouting around, trying to see what is going on over here on the Terran side of the map. It's a pretty good indication of what it is. And what it is a lot of barracks in a single factory and a third base. So this is not going to be any kind of a mech push, which again is unlikely, but possible, as Maru has shown it is something that you can do. Observer continuing that scouting information. ShoWTimE is one of the best continual scouters in the game. It's very rare for him to not know what's coming, not be prepared for what's coming. I think that drop might have caught him by surprise, just because it was one medevac and it was so early, it was so many Marines, and just the one Widow Mine, but he handled it pretty well. He ended up losing exactly 2 probes and a pylon, which is just not enough to really make the attack worth it. I think Heromarine is pretty upset about that, to be honest. And they blink it and kill the Hellion who's harassing here too. Alright, so Storm being researched immediately, working on High Templar production too. And Heromarine, where's that third base gonna go? He's building it into an orbital command tier inside the main base. Warp Prism cruising on down. This feels like a charge lot warp in, but ShoWTimE likes to do these while he's attacking elsewhere, so I'm not sure just a regular old charge lot warp in is going to do a whole lot. As there we go, Combat Shield, Stim on the way. You don't have to get these as early versus Protoss as you do versus Zerg. You want those upgrades early or else you're going to die real fast. Ghost Academy for EMP in production here from Heromarine. Could be for Ghosts a little bit later on. And more Widow Mines getting produced here too. I guess you recognize there is a pretty good complement of High Templar here and a couple of Adepts in the mix as well. And as a result, the Widow Mines are going to be good in general. Warp Prism hanging out. I think really, yeah, man. So the Stalkers are going to attack at the front, distracting Heromarine, and like a big warping of charge lots here, and they're just going to go. I think is what we're looking at right now. Stalkers hanging out, trying to see, is there a third base? They scouted for a third base, and they didn't see it, but there's one moving over there right now. In kind of a stroke of bad luck there. Marine does scout out the third base. ShoWTimE has a third. Heromarine needs to go for a third himself to keep up. Free Marine. The army comes over here, and the Warp Prism go. Warp Prism! Not going. I don't know what the Warp Prism is waiting for. I'm not going to lie to you. It's really enjoying the brown waters. There we go. Well, going in now seems a little bit late. I don't know, ShoWTimE. He's probably busy elsewhere. He's getting upgrades. He's working on additional pylons, really trying hard not to get supply blocked. And again, the Warp Prism stops. I don't know what you're waiting for, Warp Prism. I really don't understand. That is so many charge lots. The scan reveals about 50 charge lots. Okay, it's not 50, but by golly, it is, in fact, 17, which is so much damage output. Oh, you're going to get scouted. This Viking... Yeah, man, that Viking saw it and shuts it down. I think there was a window there. I really believe there was a window there for the Warp Prism, and it just didn't find it. It really didn't there. Alright, Stalkers cruising around. Zealots here too. I mean, both players mostly just hanging out. To be honest with you, nobody really seems to be all that interested in mounting any kind of a huge attack at this stage. And sometimes you have games like this where you're just left alone and it turns into a who can max out faster race. It's exactly 148 to 148 supply as I started that sentence anyway. So, I mean, both players are doing a pretty good job overall. I mean, both players have their third bases. Heromarines is fully saturated. It is 64 to 69 workers. I think ShoWTimE's pretty happy with the 69 workers. He is effectively fully saturated on his third base there. There are a couple, well, he could transfer some ones from his main to his third if he wanted. Don't ya know. But here comes Heromarine. He's got a serious attack coming on in right now. Marines, Marauders, Tanks, Ghosts for a lot of EMP and trying to hit maybe the Templar too. As the Templar were made a while ago and at least have 2 storms each in them. Nice EMP. Ooh, EMP catching a lot of stuff there, including the poor Archon. That is exactly 1 hit point. Exactly 1 hit point. Hey, the Warp Prism made it in. The Warp Prism made it into the main base there. Marines and Marauders trying to stop this from happening. Widow Mine's firing, killing a lot of SCVs. 9 SCVs go down. My goodness, 12 SCVs go down. Force fields keeping the Marines out of here. They're trying to pick off Widow Mines, target firing down whatever they want to. 12 SCVs die. Heromarine says, I gotta do this. Nice anti-armor missile. Another good EMP does go down. Heromarine being real patient here. He's not just A moving in. He recognizes that's death with the storms that exist. So he's pulling back. He's healing up. He might want to move the tanks up a little bit, and he is. He's starting to move those into position. Reinforcements heading across the map now that they've dealt with the Zealot threat. That anti-armor missile actually reduces shields and armor on these Stalkers and these Zealots. It's kind of incredible stuff. Feedback getting tossed down on the Ghosts too, and trying to pick off that High Templar. Cannot quite do it. It is a bit of a dance we're seeing here. And I think Heromarine is winning this dance, to be honest with you. It is 110 to 83 army supply. Heromarine has a big lead. Nice storm on the right side. Catching some of his own Zealots, but sacrifices must be made sometimes. Another great storm out of ShoWTimE, but Heromarine has enough stuff where he can push back, but more storms keep coming out. And I don't know if Heromarine wants to continue pushing here. I really don't. Dodging the storm in the retreat is very nice to do and very hard to do. Heromarine is displaying right now. Disruptors on the way from ShoWTimE. It is something of a catch-up unit, as my friend Laughing Games always likes to say. If Protoss are making disruptors, they feel on their back foot, and they might be here now, but I mean, it's 3 base to 3 base. Defender's advantage is really nice here too, but Heromarine continues to send units across the map over and over again. Tank fire is huge. High Templar does not get a storm off before it goes down. A Ghost gets wiped out there too. Widowmine's trying to fire on stuff, not really finding targets there on the top right side. More storm coming in and getting dodged pretty ably out of Heromarine. The disruptors are needed to probably take down the tanks. I don't know if this largely gateway army can do it. There's 2 immortals in the mix, obviously. But disruptors, if they can kind of sneak some of that over to that tank, right? So the Widowmine's a good target. I'm okay with that. The observer predicts exactly where they are, or displays where they are. Another Nova. Oh, what a dodge! What a dodge out of Heromarine. Storm on the left side, Storm on the right side. Heromarine maybe not dodging those as well as he dodged that Purification Nova. Maybe he's feeling a little bit overconfident. I don't know about this. His push is looking a little bit weaker than it needs to be. Tank firing, but unsupported by anything else. It does end up going down. And I think ShoWTimE has broken this little 3-base attack from Heromarine. I mean, he's fighting on the high ground as long as he can. Obviously, Widowmines do take down a Stalker before getting wiped out themselves by the rest of the army there. Army supply is 51 to 61. So Heromarine has an advantage, but he doesn't really have the Ghosts right now that he needs. As I say, as 2 Ghosts show up and join the party, ShoWTimE takes a 4th base as soon as the attack is over. He recognizes I'll have a bit of a respite here. Working on +3, Heromarine. Working on a +3 armor is ShoWTimE. What are his attack upgrades at? +2. So he's definitely prioritizing armor here, as you need to do against Terran. You can prioritize armor. It's harder for the Marines and Marauders to kill you, which is really important in this matchup because Marines and Marauders are super overpowered and powerful in every way. So a bit of a breather for both players here. ShoWTimE swinging around the south side. Being scouted by anything? I don't think so. If Marine might come back around and catch them, but no, this is a sneak attack into the 3rd base as Heromarine is moving out. And recalls are possible. This is bad for Heromarine. Just bad luck. Moving out while ShoWTimE is moving in. And then he does actually catch Glimpse, does he? He kind of comes back a little bit and then decides not to. Ooh, some free Liberators would be so juicy right now. Couple of them do go down. The Novas are chasing the bio away. Pretty decent hit for some pretty decent splits there. And now Heromarine is on the offensive. Storms and EMPs getting traded back and forth. The Liberator count is getting really high now. There are no Tempests to deal with this, and the Zealot count is really high. Oh, this is such a problem right now. And you get decent EMP there, but the Liberators, 8 Stalkers getting warped in to deal with this. Is it enough is the question. Nova's keeping the army back, but slowly encroaching further and further forward. Heromarines able to do this, but 4 bases, man. ShoWTimE's on a 4-base income, which is hugely important for him. Heromarines trying to sneak down this way. Man, ShoWTimE is going for it. He's going for it. He's bringing the Stalkers in to clean out the Liberators, doing a pretty good job thereof, and more Liberators are here all the time. Zealots fighting against the bio. Disruptor wanders into death on that one. Great Storm on the ground units. Another Storm on the Marauders. Chasing Marauders are so good against Stalkers. Just absolutely eat them for breakfast every day. Trying to focus on what do we kill here, say the Stalkers. I don't know. Heromarine does not have a big army, but that's it. That is your good game. And Heromarine manages to take it off of ShoWTimE here in an extremely impressive display of Terran versus Protoss. He lost a ton of stuff. He lost a lot of stuff in that game. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at it real quick here and see what the numbers are. But he lost 81 Marines, 38 Marauders, 10 Liberators, 9 SCVs, 14 Widowmines. Overall, 19,000 resources lost. ShoWTimE lost 22,000. I really feel like it was the Liberator tech switch that helped Heromarine here, helped him get the win, because to that point, ShoWTimE had no Tempest. He didn't have the Stalker count to deal with it. He didn't have the ability to deal with the Marauders, so the Stalkers could deal with the Liberators, and that was the beginning of the end for him. He didn't have the tech to make Tempest, so it had to be Stalkers. Heromarine knew that, and so he went for a lot of Marauder Tempest at the end there. That's exactly what worked out for him. So great job. 15 Marauders on the ground. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. But that last engagement was a doozy. Nicely done by Heromarine, putting the pressure on. He was the aggressor for most of this match. ShoWTimE got that one charge lot warp into the main base. It did some damage, but not a ton. He did attack into the third base, but was forced to go home as Heromarine committed to an attack into the natural. And you never base race a Terran. Generally how that goes. Upgrades at the end were a 3-2 for the Terran player, 3 attack, 2 armor, and reversed for Protoss, 2 attack and 3 armor there. Did have charge, combat shield, stim, concussive, shell, all the upgrades for bio that you're going to want at this stage of the game. And that's it. So GG out of Heromarine, getting the win. I'm telling you, this guy's good. This guy is really, really good. I'd like to see him maybe do a little bit better at WCS events based on how he's been playing recently. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Terran fans really like rooting for him, and he'd be a guy that'd be fun to root for on the big stage. All right, cool. That is going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching. And you take care of yourself.